So welcome back aboard North Star Herschel Island, and we're just looking at the Western Arctic and the history of the Western Arctic and who was up there. Obviously the Inuit, the Inuit were there for centuries before the whalers and the explorers started showing up. The area that they were working in that we'd be talking about that's relevant to North Star is, like I say, the Western Arctic, and we've got here on this map, and it shows how the ships would come up through the Bering Strait and work their way out into the Beaufort Sea and around to Herschel Island, which is has the only natural harbor along the whole Yukon coast, this place called Pauline Cove. So Herschel Island is right here. It's this little sand spit island about 7 kilometers north of the Yukon coast. It's got the only natural harbor along that whole coast, and that's where the whalers would set up, right at this spot here, to wait for the springs or the summer breakup so that they could go whaling.
So here we have a print of a very famous painting made by one of the whalers, John Bertocchini, known as Johnny the Whaler, and he spent some of his time on Herschel Island just painting the scenes around him. Here we see, this is Pauline Cove all frozen in. It's the only natural harbor along the whole Yukon coast, and this is where the ships would get iced in for the winter, and they'd have their storehouses ashore. And then for entertainment, well, for a lot of them, it was just straight drinking. In fact, they were described by one observer as being a drunken, raucous orgy of human depravity. But for others, they would set up, and they've got a football or a soccer pitch going here, and they've got a baseball diamond there, and that's the way that they would spend some of their time out on the ice. But there was one time when they were all out playing, and a huge sudden snowstorm came along, complete whiteout conditions, just dumping meters of snow, and many of them were lost. They couldn't find their way back to the ship, and they ended up walking out on the ice and died. So from then on, they would run lines between the ships, run ropes between the ships and out to the pitch, so that if some weather event came along, they could just grab hold of the rope and just pull themselves back to the ship.